Well, our first guest's biggest dilemma seemed to be deciding which sport he wanted to concentrate on. A tennis pro for well over a decade, mixed in with a very handy pro golf game, and now turning his attention to cycling. It's a welcome to Scott Draper. G'day, Scotty.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, mate.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Most of us have to decide between the chicken or the veal. You must just do your own head in, deciding which sport to focus on next.
I do my head in, that's for sure, but I've had a lot of fun. You know, sport's been a huge part of my life, and lucky to have played a couple, and I'm loving my cycling these days, which is fantastic. And
we'll get to that. I mean, we saw you starting as a junior prodigy. I think you won Junior Wimbledon, didn't you?
I did. Junior Wimbledon doubles back in '92.
Yeah,
a long time ago now.
And then just working through the circuit for, must have been best part, nearly 15 years, I guess.
Yeah, look, I, out of school, just went onto the pro circuit and, loved that time on the road, and spent 12 years travelling the world, had some success. Didn't go as far as I would have liked, but had a lot of fun nonetheless, and here I am now.
And a great win, the mixed doubles with Sam Stosur we saw there too. She's still going strong. She would have been a handy mixed doubles partner.
It's who you choose in mixed doubles, yeah.
Did you play golf when you were a tennis player, or did you literally shift from one to the other?
I always loved the game of golf, and it was something I had a passion for from a young age, but tennis was something that was part of our family, and I was always going to be a tennis player. And it wasn't probably till my first wife Kelly passed away that I just fell in love with the game. I was playing a lot more than I had in the past, and I thought, geez, I'm going pretty well. And I went back to tennis after, I guess, a bit of a sabbatical away, grieving through that time when Kel passed away. And then when I finished my career, I was sort of juggling the two sports. I went to tour school in 2004 because I had a knee injury that was putting me out of tennis. And then in 2005, I was playing both sports. And when Sam and I won the mixed doubles, I was also playing the Vic Open golf at the same time.
I remember you're on the golf course with half a dozen rackets, and you'd race to Rod Laver Arena, and you still had your golf clubs with you. You didn't know what you're doing.
What a way to make the other tennis players feel unskilled. Oh yeah, I've just come from another golf tournament.
Yes. No, it wasn't like that at all. But Sam didn't know until actually late in the event that I was actually playing a golf event, because I wasn't planning on being in the mixed doubles, and she asked me sort of last minute to play, and when I started playing with her, I thought, geez, we're a chance, because she's obviously a hell of a player.
Yeah.
And we kept going through the draw, and then the second week we found ourselves having to juggle two events, and I'm having to ask two tournament directors, that I've got to play here, and I need to play here, and my tee time, etc. So they need to be juggled, which they were very
You
very
pick
good.
two sports so that you don't make much money, do you? if you go well.
Well, I tell you what, the recent events in tennis, the prize money's gone through the roof again. So it's a very lucrative sport, and I'm very lucky that I've been able to play a sport that I love, but it also pays the bills.
I can't believe she didn't notice that you're away for 4 days playing a golf tournament, because it does take a bit of time.
That's true. I was very secretive until we did progress through to the semi-finals, and then had to play the final, and she knew I was juggling the two.
So you also were coach to Leighton Hewitt, and in particular when he was doing really well. How did you find the transition from playing to coaching?
Look, coaching is something I'm doing today. I work for Tennis Australia, and I'm managing all our national academies around the country. And I think when you've played a sport your whole career, and our family used to discuss tennis over the dinner table every night, and you've been on the tour for 12 years. It's just something it's in your blood, and I feel like you're very much a student of the game, and you want to pass on that knowledge as much as you can to anyone. And Leighton was a good mate, and the opportunity came up to help him out, and I grabbed it with both hands, and here I am today coaching at this point in time.
Well, you're a slashy. I mean, you went from rowing Bridie to cycling. You started off as a young tennis player, prodigy, as you told us, Nick. What about, a lot of cricketers play golf and do so really well. Is there a natural hand-eye coordination or some sort of skill feed-off, do you think? It helps you in both those sports?
I'm sure there's some genetic element in terms of what your parents are like and so on, but I think it comes down to hard work. For me, when I went from tennis to golf, it was just hard work that got me into the professional ranks. People think, oh, you're blessed, you can do this, you can do that, but it's not really the case. I mean, I put more hours into golf than most average caramello, and I'd be sun up to sun down, trying to practice and hone your craft. So at the end of the day, you reap what you sow, and and I think that was the case for me in golf.
Well, they talk about golf and tennis in particular being 10,000-hour sports, practicing 3 hours a day for 10 years and you'll become decent.
Yep.
You obviously crammed your 20,000 hours into a bit more of a concise amount of time. It's very impressive, though, to have performed so well.
Oh, look, I've got a bit of an obsessive kind of personality.
No.
And I did have OCD once upon a time, and I think that kind of obsessiveness, helps when you've got to try and cram, because I was a 30-year-old trying to break it into the professional ranks in golf, and I felt like I had a lot of catching up to do. So I just took to the fairways and just practiced my butt off.
And now your
about the
body's,
bike?
yeah.
What
Your
about the
body's
bike?
stuffed, so now you have to ride.
Yeah.
That's true. My knees are no good, so straight to the bike. But look, the cycling was something that I really fell into at the start of last year. I moved down to Melbourne a couple of years ago for work at Tennis Australia, and I'd put on a bit of weight working behind the desk. And I had a mate who was in a riding group, and he said, "Come along and join." And I was motivated to start losing a few kgs. And again, I started to get competitive. The good group of guys, and love having a coffee afterwards. But when we're on the bike, it's all about business, and I like competing. And here I am. I'm, probably 10,000 k's after, a couple of years on the bike, and loving every minute of it. And
Looks like you've lost those kegs.
yeah, 12 kg after. Yeah,
Wow.
good weight loss program.
Yeah, for sure.
So now you're gunning for a Tour de France berth in a team, right?
I'd love to go to the Tour de France to maybe, get on the Mont Ventoux for tonight's stage, but maybe just before they go on a bit of a climb. It's brutal, right? I mean, I don't know if I can manage, but
What do you like about riding? What elements of that do you enjoy?
I love the competition, and I think for me, when I'm watching the Tour de France or watching the group of guys that I'm riding with, I like the element of trying to see sort of who's hurting. It's a bit of a poker face kind of thing. You're not trying to show how much you're hurting. And because I'm so new into the sport, when I'm watching the TV and watching these guys, I'm trying to see who is really starting to hurt and what tactical moves could you make. But look, at the end of the day, it's good camaraderie with a good group of guys and put some Ks on the bike.
We've got no doubt you could make it as a pro cyclist. What I suggest is that you don't have everything that's in this little musette that's coming from there. It's the goodies after the bike ride.
The wine for you,
Oh,
mate.
lovely.
Children.
Might
Fabulous.
just top us up
Just
here on Bastille
sampling,
Day.
yeah, that's
We've got
right.
the green edge cap and the bib.
Awesome.
And
Thank
not
you
a
very
contract,
much.
though, with Green
All
Edge
for,
just yet.
No, there's no contract in there.
No, I've got
Ring
ready
Jerry.
Thanks, Scotty. And look, with great hesitation, I'm going to bring you over for the rollers in a sec because these are track riders. You'll probably want to try that out too. I can't bear it. Okay.